Welcome to Gentle Yoga. My name is Katherine. Today we are going to need to be close to a wall and potentially have a chair. And you might need a couple blocks if your hamstrings are really tight. So, or you could use like a stool, something just to make your arms longer. I have a 2-year-old son, and I've been really inspired by like basically third chakra situations. He's really taught me a lot and inspired me around that. And so when I say third chakra, I'm talking about like the psychology of the third chakra is like willpower, autonomy, boundaries. And if you have ever hung out with a 2-year-old or have one yourself, you may be familiar with those. And so it's interesting too, developmentally, you get an opportunity to explore willpower and boundaries and autonomy at 2, and then you kind of circle back around like teenage years. But in a physical sense, so that's the kind of psychological aspect of the third chakra, which is an energetic center. It's basically this place between the low ribs. And so that's where it's located. And it's associated physically with core muscles and strength. So I thought we would do maybe lean a little bit more towards that direction in this class today. But first, we're going to start on our backs in constructive rest pose. So willpower and boundaries and autonomy, really it all begins like, how do you know what your will is? You got to check in and see how you're doing, what is needed. So place your hands on the third chakra, which is again the space between the low ribs, technically the 5 lowest ribs. There's a kind of a soft spot where your core is. And you can soften your face, close your eyes, and take a few breaths here. Relaxing the trunk. And so that when you inhale, you can direct the breath into your belly, let it relax, but you could also allow it to kind of come up into that third chakra area. So just like psychologically, it's important to have boundaries, but you don't need your boundaries to be super rigid. You don't want them to be super porous. Just like our core, we want to have a strong core, but we want to be able to relax it too. So what good is a rigid core? And so just let it really soften. A couple more breaths. And just checking in with yourself, welcome yourself to your practice. Notice what's present for you, what's up for you right now. And then I invite you to chant with me the seed syllable for the third chakra, which is Ram, R-A-M. And we'll do this 10 times on your own. Take a deep breath. Ram, 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 Ram. Excellent. Okay. And then you can float your eyes open. Let's walk our feet together. Knees will stay bent. Release your hands wherever you'd like them to fall. And let's just do a little bit of pelvic tilt. So pressing low back into the mat as you engage the muscles to tilt the front of the pelvis towards the face. And then for the pelvis tilts away. So let's do a handful of rounds like this, just increasing spinal mobility, core awareness. The exhale is the tilt of the pelvis, the rounding of the low back. The inhale is the increase of the low back arch. About 3 more rounds here. Good. And then finding a neutral pelvis. Feet are going to be together. You're going to slowly inhale and your knees open wide. So reclined cobbler, Supta Baddha Konasana. And then we'll add some movement to it. Keep the low belly pulling in as you do this, so the area below the navel. And on an exhale, you're going to bring your knees 1/3 of the way together. On the inhale, slowly open the knees wide open. Exhale, 2/3 of the way, the knees come towards each other. Inhale, nice and controlled, slow, opened. Now exhale, completely close the knees together. And inhale, nice and slow, nice and controlled, opening. Okay, we're gonna do this a handful of times. So exhale, knees 1/3, come up. And then inhale, slowly opening. Exhale, 2/3. Inhale, slowly opening. Exhale, completely closed. Inhale, nice and slow. Opening. Again, 1/3. And open. 2/3. And open. And closed completely. And open. Good. Keep going on your own. As you're doing this, maybe even just contemplating where would you be on a spectrum, do you feel like, in your life? Or do you feel like you tend to feeling like you have really rigid boundaries? You feel hot, you feel angry a lot, you are pretty directive, relentlessly directive? Or maybe do you tend to be more lax in your boundaries, lacking in willpower? So we're all kind of, I would say, we probably go back and forth from end to end in our lives. Just considering maybe where do you feel like you are right now? Okay, and then you're going to bring the knees together, drawing your left knee into the chest now. Hold on the back of the leg, maybe the shin. Exhale, pull the navel to the spine, low belly in. Inhale, extend your right leg long, hovering just maybe an inch above the mat. On the next exhale, swing your straightened right leg towards the ceiling. Feel the stretch, toes peel back. On the inhale, hover it horizontally above the mat once more, just moving the right leg. On the exhale, draw right knee, bend it into the chest. And we're going to keep doing that, strengthening in the core here, stretching the back of the legs. Inhale, right leg horizontal. Exhale, right leg vertical, toes peel to the knee. Inhale, right leg horizontal, it's hovering. Exhale, knee into chest. Keep moving, drawing low belly into towards the mat. So nice and controlled here. And so it's controlled, but we're not like super gripping or tight. You find that balance between too much effort and not enough. A few more times. Now, next time the right leg comes vertical, pause there. Release left foot to the mat. Left knee's going to bend. Hands behind the right thigh, and then just roll the right ankle a couple directions each way. And then bend right knee into chest. Let's do the second side. Exhale, low belly in. Inhale, left leg hovers. Exhale, left leg vertical. Inhale, left leg horizontal. Exhale, knee to chest. Inhale, horizontal. Exhale, vertical, toes peel to knee. Inhale, horizontal. So as you keep moving, I'm saying, hey, left leg vertical. If your leg is really tight, maybe it just goes more on a diagonal side. That's totally fine. So as long as you're feeling a stretch, you're feeling maybe a little bit of a strengthening in the core. You want to keep the low belly pulling in and have a neutral pelvis as you're moving through this best you can. Keep moving a few more times. And we'll do one more and pause with that left leg, quote unquote, vertical, right? Release the right foot to the mat. Hold on to the back of that left leg and then roll the left ankle. Release the left foot to the mat. Let's do a little bit of bridge. So heels generally under the knees, toes pointing forward, thighs parallel. With an inhale, press the feet into the floor, lift the hips. Gaze to the ceiling. Exhale, lower the hips. And we're going to just go in and out of bridge here. Inhale, lifting, and squeeze your glutes a little bit at the top. And exhale, lowering. So as we're doing this variation of bridge, I'd like you to focus on feeling the strength in your glutes. And that's where we get the little squeeze at the top of the glutes. So important to have strong glutes to support the back, support the legs, the hips. Keep moving. And then we're going to do this about 3 more times and add the arms. On an inhale, lift the arms up and back. Keep the gaze up. Exhale, coming down. Twice more like that. Last one. And we'll pause, hips in the air. Feel the strength of the legs, the glutes. Thighs are parallel, gazing at the ceiling. One more round of breath. And then on your following exhale, return to the floor. Pause. Let yourself soften into the mat. Feel your heart, feel your breath. And then let's roll over to the side. Come on up to sit. We're going to come into cobbler's pose. Soles of the feet together. Sit nice and tall. And I'd like you to have your heels in this cobbler's pose further away from your groin if you're rounding quite a bit in the back. So just scoot those heels away. It doesn't have to be a big cobbler's pose. Sit nice and tall. And then as you're sitting tall here, see if you can move your shoulders back a little bit. And allow the shoulders to not only go back, but just soften away from the ears. And as you exhale, slowly drop the chin to the chest. But keep lifting the chest towards the chin. Let's take a breath or two here. And then rolling the head to the left ear to left shoulder. And maybe even rolling the head back a little bit if that feels good. Feel the stretch. Keep moving your shoulders back and down. And then rolling the chin back down to the chest. Pause here for a round of breath, moving the shoulders back, lifting the chest. And then rolling the head to the right. Maybe letting the head go back in space a little bit if that feels good. Feel the stretch, chest lifted, shoulders back. One more round of breath. And then rolling chin back down to chest. Lift the head to neutral position. Let's kick out your left leg out to the left. And take a moment to really prop yourself up on your sits bones. So you might want to lift up yourself, get the flesh of your rear out from underneath those sits bones, feeling those bones of your pelvis touch the floor here. And I'd like you to flex the left foot and push the left heel down into the floor. You're squaring your shoulders and your hips over that right ankle. And then as you press that left heel down, slightly draw the left leg, kind of like suck it back into the socket. So it's like going to try to slide the left heel in towards the pelvis. And then inhale, reach your arms up overhead. Exhale, rotate belly, heart, head to the right. Right hand comes back down to the floor behind you. Left hand comes to opposite knee. Look over right shoulder. Stay here for an inhale. And then exhale, keep everything, but just slowly turn your head to look over left shoulder. Now bringing the back of that left hand to the knee so you can straighten that left arm, use it like the lever. Inhale, reach the right arm up and take a side bend to your left. Turn up the corners of your mouth, relax your tongue, relax your forehead, maybe lean the head back a little bit if that feels nice. Breathe into the sensation on the right side of the body. And then exhale, bring right hand to the floor, left hand to the floor. Let's just fold over that right ankle. Pressing that left heel down into the floor and trying to suck that left thigh bone, kind of drawing it back into the pelvis. You're going to slide the left leg towards the pelvis. One more inhale, reach your heart away from your navel. On the exhale, maybe fold a little further, gazing at the floor. And then inhale, come on up and switch sides. Peel the right toes back. Press the right heel into the floor. Sit up nice and tall. So we're trying to draw that right thigh bone deeper into the hip socket. And taking a breath here. On an inhale, reach up. On the exhale, belly, heart, head rotates left. Left hand back behind you. Hold on to opposite knee with your right hand. Stay in the twist for a round of breath. The inhale, feel the length of the spine. Keep the twist. And next time you exhale, turn the head to look over right shoulder. Keep lifting heart vertically away from the spine. Keep pressing that right heel into the floor and kind of dragging it isometrically back. Of course, it's not going to go anywhere, right? But you're activating the muscles that would do that. And then here, let's go in for our side bend. The back of the right hand comes to the outer knee. Left arm reaches up overhead. Feel the stretch. Breathe into the left side of the trunk, corners of the mouth up. Relax the forehead, the tongue. Using that right arm like a lever to help draw the right shoulder blade off the back. Right shoulder comes away from the ear. Last round of breath here. And then circle down, both hands to the floor in front of you, deepening the stretch in the right hamstring, the right inner groin, inner thigh. So I know we're going to do some more strength, but I just want to stretch out this inner thigh and the hamstring before we do that. One more round of breath here. Good, and then come on up. So let's come on up to stand in mountain pose. You can stand towards the top of your mat. This is where you might find you want some blocks. We're going to be doing a half sun salutation, so that's sweeping up, coming down. It's going to be a modified one, so if you do need a block, please place it on the floor in front of you. And so feet are hip sockets distance apart, toes are pointing forward like the knees, moving the thigh bones back. And lift the toes up, wiggle them, and try to spread your toes as far as you can away from each other. And then bring them down to the floor. A little more weight in your heels. On an inhale, reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, hands come in front of heart. Okay, so a little modified half sun salutation. We'll come into a chair position on the inhale. So bend the knees, reach your arms. You can just reach them forward. You'll notice my rear is moving back in space, right? Like I'm gonna sit in a chair way far behind. And that was an inhale. Okay, exhale, come on up to stand mountain pose. Inhale, sweep the arms back up again overhead. On the exhale now, dive down. Here's where the fingertips might come to a block. Maybe they come to the floor. On an inhale, put a little more weight in the balls of your feet. Maybe you hop that block forward a little bit or the fingertips forward just so you feel the stretch in a different place in the legs. And then on the exhale, weight more in the heels, let the knees bend. On the next inhale, stand up, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hands together in front of heart. Good, again, from the top. Inhale, chair. Exhale, stand. Inhale, arms up overhead, mountain pose. Exhale, swan dive, dive down. Let those knees bend if you need to. Fingertips touch something. Inhale, weight into the balls of the feet. Maybe walk the fingertips forward, hop that block forward. And exhale, weight into the heels. Let the knees bend a little bit. Inhale, stand up, sweep up. Exhale, hands together in front of heart. Let's do that one more time. Inhale, sweep up. Oh, chair pose. Excuse me, chair pose. Exhale, stand back up again. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, dive down. Weight in the balls of the feet as you inhale. Weight in the heels as you exhale. Inhale, stand up. Feel the strength of those legs. Sweep up. Exhale, palms together. Tadasana. Excellent. Okay, so let's move over to the wall now. And we are going to do a plank pose on the wall. If you want to do this whole thing and you want to do a plank pose on the floor, go ahead and do it. But this is a gentle class, so we are going to do gentle style. So I want you to find a place on the wall and place your hands on the wall just a little bit below, a few inches below the shoulders for starts. Spread your fingers wide, wide, wide. And then walk your feet back. Keep your pelvis neutral, so neither sway in the low back or overly tucking in the tail, right? And keep the low belly in. So we're gonna use that neutral pelvis, the low belly pulling in, this nice strength to help stabilize our spine as we stay in this plank pose on the wall. Now your heels may or may not be on the wall. You might be feeling a nice stretch in the calves. Press those hands into the wall until the shoulder blades start to part a little bit. Keep gazing at the wall. Feel your breath. And really feeling the strength of the front body, the front of the trunk, to help support that spine. And now I'd like you to put a little more weight in your right hand and bend your left elbow And almost like you're drawing a bow, draw the left elbow back and then place that left hand back on the wall. Second side, draw a bow with the right elbow, right hand, draw that bow. And second side, or first side, and do it again. Draw the bow and bring it back. Okay, keep that low belly pulling in. We're just gonna practice this just for a little bit, pressing, feeling the strength of the arms, the strength of the core. And as you're doing this, notice if the body is kind of like you're swinging quite a bit in the lower body. Try to avoid that. See if you can stabilize the body as much as you can, almost just like you're isolating this movement in the shoulders and the arms. And of course, if you're like, this is hurting my wrists, maybe you bring your fists to the wall. Maybe you walk your feet a little closer towards the wall so there's less weight on your arms, okay? And then we're gonna add a little something else. Next time you bend the left elbow, draw the bow, then swing the left arm back and up and left hand to the wall. Bend right elbow, draw that bow, swing the right arm back and up, draw the bow. If you'd like to swim, you might notice this is a little bit like a swimming situation with the arms. So nice stretch for the arms. Keep moving. Keep that low belly in. Let's do one more on either side. Open throat, long back of the neck. Good. And then from here, pause in just that plank pose. Once again, part the shoulder blades, bring the shoulders away from the ears. Just really press those hands into the wall. Good. And then walk the hands forward, walk the feet forward rather. Slide your left hand up the wall. My face is like a few inches from the wall now. I'm going to slide my right arm underneath me and bring the outside of my right arm to the wall. You'll see my right hand, the palm is facing away from the wall. And I'm letting now my right shoulder blade splay kind of off the back. I'm just getting a nice stretch here. If you've got some shoulder issues and this isn't a good idea for your shoulders, please don't do it, of course. You are empowered to take care of yourself. One more breath. Good. And then second side, right arm slides up. Slide that left arm underneath. Cross the body. Let that left shoulder blade just kind of flare off the back. Pressing the back of that left hand into the wall. Keep the low belly pulling in, even though you're stretching out the shoulders. Good, and then come on out of it. Turn around and have your back about a few inches away from the wall, mountain pose. Roll the shoulders up towards the ears, and then slide them back in space. You're gonna press your fingertips into the wall behind you as you draw the shoulder blades now together and broaden the chest. Really breathe into the heart. Chin slightly towards throat, reaching the back of the skull towards the sky, maybe turning up the corners of the mouth, relaxing the face. On the next exhale, relax, and you can shake it out as you come back to your mat if you have left it. Okay, let's meet on the floor, face down. Coming on down, face down on the floor. Take a moment and just rest, stacking the palms. Feet can be wide, crocodile. Couple soft belly breaths here. And so each chakra has like a seed syllable, and that's kind of like fanning the flame of that chakra. And then there's also a clearing syllable. And the clearing syllable, that would be if you're like feeling like a little overly rigid, overly direct. That would be ah, ah. And why don't we just do a little ah right now? So take a deep breath in, big belly breath in, and go ah. Do that twice more. Ah. Ah. Good. Okay. Walk your feet back together. Tops of the feet are on the floor. Bring your hands on either side of your chest, fingertips pointing forward as you bend the elbows. And on the next inhale, with the low belly pulling in, slowly lift your shoulders and your head. So it's kind of like we're in a locust cobra, right? The legs are lifting and the hands are in this cobra position. Lengthen your tailbone towards your heels. This would be a nice thing for you potentially to do if your back is feeling a little sensitive today. You'll just pause here, and you don't have to get overzealous with it. You can just kind of just feel the strength of the back body. Maybe take a break if you need to. If you're feeling okay in your back today, keep lengthening your tailbone towards the heels and keep the body lifted. And you're going to add arms. So on an inhale, sweep the arms out to the sides and forward. On the exhale, sweep the arms out to the sides and alongside the body. Keep everything lifted. Inhale, sweeping up. Keep your gaze at the floor so the back of the neck stays long. Okay. So again, empowered to take care of yourself, whatever's needed today. Okay, let's do about 5 more of these wherever you are, or maybe 5 more relaxing breaths on the mat, just releasing, taking a face down shavasana if you need to. Okay, after you finished your 5th one, come back to stacking the hands, forehead on the hands, relax the body completely, kick the feet away from each other. Let's do one more big soft belly breath in and then a nice long ah. Ah. Okay, if you have sensitive knees, you can't be on your knees, slowly flip over and gently giving your knees a hug. If you're okay with being on your knees, bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Let's come on up to hands and knees. Little chakra vakasana. So inhaling, looking forward, back bend. Exhale, lift your spine towards the ceiling, nice and slow, leaning the hips back to the heels. Feel the stretch, elbows to the mat. It's like child's pose. We're really rounding the back. And then on the inhale, you come on back up through all 4, shoulders over wrists, and heart and belly move down, broaden the chest. Exhale, lift the spine, round the back, nice and slow. Elbows to the mat, rear to the heels, let the head go. Let's go back and forth like this a few more times before pausing in child's pose. Good, and then we'll all meet in a curled up ball in some fashion, right? Maybe we're on our back curled up, maybe we're face down. Breathe into the back. Good. Okay, and then slowly come on up. Okay, we're gonna stand on up and come into goddess pose. So it's this business. And I'm just gonna give you a heads up. You're gonna be going bending and lifting and bending and lifting. If you got knee stuff and you're like, no go, that's not okay for my knees, then you can do this by just straddling the chair. And you can do the arm movement, but you're really pressing your feet into the floor, okay? So taking feet a little wider than hips width distance, toes and knees generally pointing the same direction, a little bit out. And then on an inhale, sweep your arms up overhead, palms together. On an exhale, bend into goddess pose. Inhale, straightening legs, reaching arms. Exhale, bending. Keep moving with your breath. How low you go just depends on what you need today, what's right for your body. Keep moving the knees to the wall back behind you as you do this. Letting it be like a moving meditation. And those of you in the chair, you're really getting an opportunity to still even strengthen the legs if you are very intentionally pressing your feet into the floor. Get that nice stretch. Maybe as your legs start to warm up, maybe you go a little bit lower. Try it out. Okay, now you're welcome to keep moving, or you're welcome to hold goddess pose for 3 breaths. So everyone's going to take 3 more rounds of breath, moving those knees back behind you. Feel the strength of your legs. I really feel like, generally feet are connected, are part of the first chakra, kind of rooting, staying grounded, and feeling at home in our body and on the planet. But I feel like they're so integral to our third chakra, our sense of power and place in this world. Our feet and our legs, huge, right? How do you walk around? How do you move around? How do you support yourself and stand up tall? That was longer than 3 breaths. Just kidding. Let's do one more breath anyways. Good. And then let's straighten the legs, turn your toes forward, and just take a forward fold for a couple breaths. Those of you in the chair, you're welcome to stand up and do that. Okay, bend those knees, slowly roll on up. And I'd like you to face the short edge of your mat and stand so your right outer edge of your foot is somewhat maybe like an inch away from the edge of your mat, the long edge of your mat, right? So I'm kind of off here. And then I'd like you to step your left foot back so that the heel is in the center of the mat. Turn your left toes out a little bit and your right toes are pointing forward. Bend your right knee and square your hips and shoulders to face the front of your mat. So we're going to come in and out of a warrior 1 position. So first, let's not do it with the arms. On a exhale, straighten your front leg. On an inhale, bend the front knee. And so just moving back and forth like that as you're bending. You don't have to move the knee beyond the heel. And doing your best to square hips and shoulders to face the front of the mat. Okay, let's add the left arm. So left arm alongside the body as both legs straighten. As the front leg bends, inhale, left arm sweeps up. Increase the stretch. Exhale, give it a break, straighten the front leg. Let's do that twice more. Low belly is pulling in as you lengthen your tailbone towards the floor. And then this next time you reach up, you can pause here, squaring hips and shoulders to the front. You can have just left arm up. Maybe you want both arms up. Really ground through all corners of both feet, right? So try to avoid rolling to the inside of the back foot. So the inner arch. I want to really ground that outside foot. Let's take one more round of breath here. Strong legs, open heart. Now keep the legs just as they are. On an exhale, fold forward. You can bring your fingertips to the floor on either side of the front foot. This is an opportunity for you to grab a block maybe. If it's too high, you can rest your hands on a block in front of that foot. Maybe there's a chair nearby. But I want you to keep the bend in the front leg. And again, don't bend it beyond the front heel, okay? It's right over the heel, just so we can deepen the stretch in the hamstring. One more round of breath here. Keep that right knee bent and slowly roll up. Fabulous. Let's do the second side. So you'll stand facing other end of the mat, left outer edge of the foot, about an inch away from the long edge of the mat. Step your right foot back. Right heel is in the center of the mat as the right toes turn out. Ground through all the corners of the feet as you square your pelvis and your shoulders to face the short edge of the mat. Low belly pulling in is going to help you do this. Feel the legs plug into the floor, and through that energetic quality of strength and plugging in, you feel it rise up through the core, helping your heart sit on this beautiful, strong pedestal, which is your core. And let's come in and out of it without the arms first. So straighten the front leg and bend it. Again, not beyond that heel. Straighten and bend. Keep low belly pulling in. Square those hips. A few more times. Outer edge of back foot into the floor. And let's add the arm. On an inhale, front leg bends, right arm reaches up to the sky. Exhale, straighten front leg, swing that right arm down. Twice more. Feel the strength. And on the third one, we'll pause here. Hips and shoulders square to the front of the mat. Maybe both arms are up overhead. Feel the strength of the low body in your core. Support a relaxed, open heart, open shoulders, relax the neck. Easy breath. Right, and that's so much kind of like having this willpower, a healthy sense of willpower, healthy autonomy. It helps you relax in life. Good, and then keep the front knee bent. So you got warrior one legs, everything stays the same, but slowly fold over. Fingertips to the floor on either side of the front foot, or maybe again, grab that block, bring your hands up onto something, right? Breathing some more spaciousness into that left hamstring. Please don't bend your left knee beyond that heel, right? So it could even be back. It might be just a micro bend of the left knee. Let your head go. One more round of breath. And then keep everything as it is. Slowly roll up. Ooh. And then pivot back into, let's come into mountain pose. So mountain pose, build it from the floor up. If you need a block for a forward fold, please place it in front of you. We're going to come back to that half sun salutation flow that we did before. Check that your toes and knees are pointing forward. And then palms together in front of your heart. On an inhale, chair pose. Sit the hips back, reach forward. On the exhale, stand up. On the inhale, reach the arms up. Big stretch. Exhale, dive down, fingertips touch something, toes pointing forward. On the inhale, weight in the balls of the feet as you walk your hands or block slightly forward. On the exhale, weight in the heels, bend the knees a little bit more. On an inhale, stand up, reach up. Exhale, mountain pose, palms together. Let's do that twice more. Inhale, chair, reach that rear back. Exhale, stand it up. Inhale, reach up, stand up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, weight to the balls of the feet. Exhale, weight to the heels. Inhale, stand up, reach up. Exhale, hands together in front of heart. Last one, on your own. And inhale to stand up, reach up. Pause in mountain pose. Okay, let's make our way back down to the floor now. You're going to come onto your back. Please have your props around you, whatever you would like for Shavasana. We'll be moving there shortly. Knees bent, feet on the floor. Release the weight of your head to the mat. And let's start with just a couple pelvic tilts here. Inhaling, low back off the mat. Exhaling, low back to the mat. Using the strength of our core to support the tilt of the pelvis. And then find a nice neutral pelvis, neither excessively tucked or sway in the back. And then you're going to lift your feet up off the floor. Bring the soles of the feet together in any fashion that you can, keeping the knees open. Now, for some of you, keeping the low belly in, maybe just doing this, keeping the knees open and hanging out here is like a really nice core practice for you. Okay, so you're welcome to just do this, enjoy the shaking of the legs if that's occurring, or you can add a little bit of a crunch to this. So to do that, you would inhale, extend your arms back behind you. The palms are together, kind of prayer hands. And then exhale, extend the arms through the legs, lift the back of the head and the shoulders off the mat as you dive those hands between the legs. And then inhale, head to the floor, reach the arms back behind you. Exhale, crunch. Inhale, reach. Ooh, let's do about 3 more of those. Knees are open. Good, and then release the feet to the mat. Come into reclined cobbler's pose, but release your arms to the floor behind you and create like a halo around your head. So now your body looks like a figure 8. Lengthening your tailbone towards your heels if you need to a little bit more, and just really let yourself soften and melt to the floor. Soft belly as you breathe in, heavy bones as you breathe out. And then you'll walk your feet apart and walk them about as wide as the mat. The knees are going to point towards the sky. Extend your arms left and right on the floor, palms facing up as you slide the shoulder blades flat underneath the body, shoulders away from ears. You get to windshield wiper the knees side to side. And my feet aren't touching, they're as wide as the mat. Draw your low belly in as you do this. Now, next time knees go right, pause there. Feel the stretch, maybe slightly squeezing left glute. Turn your head to the left. Reach the left knee away from your navel. Soften your jaw, soften your gaze. Let's take one more round of breath. Good, let's do second side. Slowly windshield wiper those knees to the left. Squeezing the right glute. Head turns to the right. Reaching right knee away from your navel.
Nice stretch on the right side of the body, front of the right hip. Good. And then come back through center. Right ankle on top of left thigh. And come into reclined pigeon pose or figure four legs. Keep your top foot flexed, toes are peeling back towards the knee. Completely relax your pelvis into the mat. Relax your belly here. And to go deeper in this posture, you may want to even um, roll the weight of your pelvis to the left. So there's a little bit more weight on the left side of your sacrum, which is the big bone on the back of the pelvis. Good. And then we'll switch sides. Left toes are peeling towards the knee. Nice and soft belly, soft face. Maybe rolling the weight of the pelvis to the right a little. And then releasing. Feet to the mat, knees bent. Bend your elbows, pointing your fingers towards the sky. You look like a Barbie or a robot. Press the elbows into the mat and flatten the shoulder blades once again underneath you. Slide the tops of the shoulders away from the ears, and then release the backs of the hands to the floor on either side of the mat. Extend your legs nice and long, or fix yourself up for a relaxation pose and however works for you. But I encourage you to completely release the weight of your bones to the floor as you arrive. So start to scan from the top of your head down to your fingertips, to your toes, and just check, am I exerting more effort than is needed here? And the invitation is to exert no effort. So just softening, softening, softening. So I think of boundaries, willpower, autonomy, having a healthy third chakra allows us to be soft and relaxed, feel protected, be able to move through our life directed by our heart, similar to getting a nice strong hug, right? Like a nice, if someone gives you a hug, you get just the right amount of like firm strength from the arms so you can really feel like you can relax, right? Not too tight, not too loose. So we'll just take one slow big breath in and hold it for the count of three, and then sigh it out. Shavasana. Maybe you can stay longer for your relaxation pose. Please do. If you need to move on with the rest of your day, wiggle your fingers and toes. Exhale completely. And then take a big breath in as you stretch. Big morning stretch. And as you're ready, collecting your legs into your chest, give yourself a hug of gratitude. Thank you for taking this time for yourself. And then rolling to one side, coming up to a comfortable seat of your choice. You're rejoicing all the way. So, boundaries and that, like creating this boundary for yourself to practice yoga today. So, you've created this time for self care and given yourself that gift. So, bring your palms together in front of your heart. If you'd like to dedicate the benefits of your practice to someone special, see their face, imagine where they are in their day right now. And on an inhale, we'll gather it up. On the exhale, we'll send it out and send it out. See them wherever they are. They're feeling strong, flexible, able to relax in their strength. Thank you so much for practicing today. Namaste.